All right, so what we're going to talk about here just for a minute is when you have an online lead, right? And let's just say Facebook, but any online lead, really.
Yep.
But let's say it's a Facebook lead. I think where a lot of people are having the disconnect is once they reach out to me, once I have a lead come in through social media.
Yep.
What's that first conversation like? Like what do I say?
Yeah, exactly. So how do you convert?
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Well, I mean, the first thing that I think that we need to put in front of the scripting is giving the right offer initially.
In other words, we want to use the right bait in a cool way, right?
That's right.
We want to use, hence the setting here, right? Yeah. So we want to use the right bait that we get the right quality of a person reaching out.
That's right.
To have that conversation.
That's right.
So let's just for a minute talk about that. So like how can I have bait that'll have like the right quality of a person for me to have that conversation?
Absolutely. Well, in the mortgage business, it's definitely talking about the mortgage and having somebody eventually coming to us that says, hey, I want to know how much I can qualify for and, maybe what my rate is going to be. But inquiring about a loan product. You see so many people trying to generate as many leads as possible for $2 or $3 or $4 a lead, where we look at that process and we say, okay, we want to generate the highest quality lead and just make sure that our costs are in line because we actually want to have quality conversations with people. So having somebody reach out for how much home do I qualify for, do you have tools for that, is rather than, send me a list of foreclosures per se or something.
Because see, I think where a lot of people have been making a mistake, and it's not, by the way, if you're doing this mistake, it's not your fault, right? Nobody told you. That's why we're doing these series of videos, is you don't want to contact me for this list of foreclosures, because then when that first conversation, like if you reach out to me and say, hey, Carl, give me that list of foreclosures, and I go, okay, well, let's talk about mortgage here. You go, wait, dude, I don't want to talk about mortgage. I want the list of foreclosures. Where are those at? And you have to convert that foreclosure lead into, well, let's make an app first thing, and you have a disconnect in your marketing.
That's right.
And so you want to make sure that the offer you have is about the mortgage.
That's right.
And even though you might have less of them, they'll convert much, much higher because that initial conversation is in line. It's like if I have an ad going, hey, let me tell you about the TV, and then you call me up and we talk about TVs, it's congruent.
That's right.
If I'm doing this marketing about TVs and you contact up and I go, well, let's not talk about the TV, let's talk about boating.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I was looking for a TV. It's the same kind of thing.
That's it.
All right. So once that lead comes in now, and we use the right bait to attract them, what does that initial conversation sound like?
That's right. So it's a lot easier to have that conversation when you're just giving them what they want. So there's no real magic script, at least not that we've found, to convert that lead. It's just, hey, you reached out to find out how much home you qualify for and at what rate. Let me help you with that. And so the initial lead comes in through, let's just say, Facebook again. Okay. Yep.
And they've opted into an ad.
Yes.
And said, yes, I'd like to see what I qualify for.
Yeah, and we do that, but we do that using either a chat bot that asks them a series of questions, and actually, it's like a short form loan application online, or a survey where we're asking them questions and they're telling us, here's how much home I want to borrow, here's what I think my credit score is, here's how much down payment I have, here's how soon I'm looking to move. Once they've jumped through all those hoops and they say, tell me how much I qualify for, it's very easy to go back to them and say, hey, I have that information that you're looking for.
Here's how much you qualify for. Give me a call. So you'd message them in the chat bot or Facebook message, or text them.
Yep, exactly.
Or the ringless voicemail like slide dial, except done automatically.
Yep.
So the actual first conversation that you as a loan officer actually want to be having with these people is somebody that's been having an automatic conversation with these Facebook bots.
Yep.
And they've said, now tell me how much I qualify for.
That's right.
That's the first conversation you want to be having. So you're not spending all your time having conversations with people that may or may not be a high enough quality for you.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
That's it.
And so the take-home message of this video is make sure you're using the right bait, the right ads to attract people that actually want a mortgage instead of tricking them to opt in.
That's right.
and then go, oh, by the way, we're not going to, I really don't have a list of foreclosures. Or even if I do have a list of foreclosures, I'm going to send those to you. Let's talk about the mortgage now. They go, I don't want to qualify for a mortgage. I just want the list of foreclosures.
That's
so
right.
you have to be using the right bait. And if you use the right bait of how to get a mortgage, then that conversation of, well, let's get you qualified now, it's in line because that's what they reached out and asked for.
That's right.
Make sure you're using the right bait.
That's it.
So cool. So we're putting together some training on the right bait.
Yep.
And so if you'll just shoot a message or just comment or like this post, we'll add you to a list. And as soon as the training's available, we'll reach out to you and tell you about it.
That's it.
Is that easy enough?
It's super simple.
So, hey, do us a favor. If you thought it was kind of cool, hit us with a like, give comments, maybe comment what else you would like us to do these videos on, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
And then if you could forward this to your friends and maybe they could comment too about what you'd like to learn about social media marketing and mortgage marketing, we'd be happy to do that.
That's perfect.
All right. Well, we're getting ready to go jump in the boat. So we'll look forward to your comments and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.